Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's public open house. My name is Olive Stringer with Stone Environmental, and I will be presenting to you the preferred alternatives for the I-77, US Route 250, and State Route 39 interchange alternatives evaluation. Today's open house is an important part of the Ohio Department of Transportation's public involvement process. This is an opportunity for us to share information, listen to your feedback, and discuss how the project may affect the surrounding community. This presentation will begin with team introductions. Next, a brief description of the project background. Then, each preferred alternative will be reviewed in a high level of detail. The presentation will finish with next steps for the project and instructions on how to provide public feedback. The Ohio Department of Transportation, or ODOT, District 11 is leading the Alternatives Evaluation Report. The ODOT team present for today's open house includes Tom Corey, District Deputy Director, Wasim Khalifa, Capital Programs Administrator, Scott Warner, Planning Engineer, Jared Geog, Construction Engineer, Dan Lorenz, Local Public Agency Manager, David Hoffman, Highway Safety District Coordinator, Steve Lucas, Real Estate Administrator, Thomas Stratton, District Environmental Coordinator, Elizabeth Crail, Environmental Specialist, and Lauren Burrell, Public Information Officer. Several firms have been consulted by ODOT to aid in this report. This includes Art Ramito with GAI Consultants as Design Manager, myself and Sam Robbins with Stone Environmental, Engineering, and Science for Public Involvement, and Len Michaels with ASC Group as the Environmental Project Manager. The purpose of this presentation is to provide information to the public about the preferred alternatives and receive feedback from the public to integrate into the final alternatives evaluation report. At the end of 2025, ODOT and the project team presented the proposed alternatives at a stakeholder meeting and open house. Each of the 9 project locations had between 2 to 4 proposed alternatives. The project team then used stakeholder and public feedback to help advance one preferred alternative per location. These preferred alternatives will be discussed in this presentation and at today's open house to receive public feedback, which will be formally documented in the Alternatives Evaluation Report. Let's review what an Alternatives Evaluation Report, or AER, is. An AER is an in-depth evaluation of recommended solutions to address transportation issues in the area, narrowing down several proposed alternatives per location into one preferred alternative per location. Together, these interconnected preferred alternatives must work optimally and cohesively throughout the entire project area. As part of the AER, designers used aerial imagery and county-wide LiDAR data to obtain an estimate of the existing conditions and create 3D preliminary designs. Right-of-way impacts were estimated from these approximations, as fieldwork was not conducted to survey the project area in person. However, the AER does provide better cost estimates than any of the previous reports. What the AER does not include are final designs or construction details. As a reminder, a vital component of this project is to utilize public feedback and opinion to find preferred design alternatives for the project area. These alternatives are not final and are still subject to change. As such, utility impacts have not been coordinated. Additionally, land has not been physically surveyed for detailed information on soil and groundwater, right-of-way, or environmental impacts. But why is the AER needed? Currently, several major issues, including unsafe conditions, missing ramp connects, and high congestion, persist throughout the project area. During a recent 3-year period, there were over 160 crashes in the study area, with the majority of crashes occurring along State Route 39. Closely spaced intersections and numerous driveways with few turn lanes lead to unsafe traffic conditions along State Route 39. The I-77, US Route 250, and State Route 39 interchange serves as a main gateway to New Philadelphia and surrounding communities. When the interchange was built, it was constructed as a partial systems interchange. This means that vehicles traveling northbound on I-77 that want to access US Route 250 eastbound, and vehicles traveling westbound on US Route 250 that want to access I-77 southbound need to exit the freeway and make 2 left turns to re-enter the freeway. This results in confusion for out-of-town travelers, longer travel times for those traveling along the freeways in State Route 39, and additional congestion along State Route 39. Much of the congestion near I-77 is caused by the closely spaced intersections and the high volume of left-turning vehicles stopped at traffic signals. This causes the I-77 southbound on-ramp to operate at an F level of service, indicating worst possible conditions. Additionally, the high volume of traffic along State Route 39 creates backups in all directions at the Bluebell Drive intersection. The project area includes 9 locations within the I-77, US Route 250, and State Route 39 interchange area and adjacent intersections. The preferred alternatives chosen at each location would result in great improvements to traffic alone, but together would compound improvements even more. Let's review how preferred alternatives were selected. Last year, the project team evaluated several proposed alternatives for safety, traffic operations, environmental impacts, right-of-way acquisition, and cost. After the 2025 stakeholder meeting and open house, the project team included public opinion and certified traffic data as additional evaluation criteria to identify a combination of preferred alternatives that work optimally across all locations. The new public opinion criterion is a combination of feedback received from the 2025 stakeholder meeting and open house. The certified traffic data criterion evaluated how the proposed alternatives would stand against forecasted traffic projected into the 2050s, while taking into account potential developments in the surrounding area. Certified traffic data is the most comprehensive, robust data available and the highest standard of forecasting. This data was used to reevaluate traffic operations and make modifications to designs to improve traffic and safety. The aerial photos seen here and on the next few slides show how the preferred alternatives interconnect. This photo shows the local roads west of the Tuscarawas River, referred to as locations 1, 2, and 3. Location 1 is a new intersection along the north leg of State Route 39. Location 2 is the intersection at State Route 39 and Stone Creek Road. And location 3 is the intersection of State Route 39, the I-77 northbound entrance and exit ramps, and the US Route 250 westbound exit ramp. The largest change at these locations from what was presented at the first public meeting is the relocation of the US Route 250 eastbound entrance ramp from location 2 to location 1. After receiving certified traffic data, it was determined that further improvements to traffic operations and safety could be established with this relocation, as it reduces the westbound left turn movements at location 2 and replaces them with a continual right turn bypass lane. Locations 4, 5, 6, and 7 are located east of the Tuscarawas River. Location 4 is the area between the bridge over the Tuscarawas River and Bluebell Drive. Location 5 is the intersection of State Route 39 and Bluebell Drive. Locations 6 and 7 are north and south backage roads, respectively, off State Route 39. Locations 8 and 9 are the interstate system ramps, meant to improve connectivity between the freeways. Location 8 adds a direct US Route 250 westbound to I-77 southbound movement. Location 9 adds a direct I-77 northbound to US Route 250 eastbound movement. Before looking at each location in more detail, we again emphasize that these are not final designs. The preferred alternatives will be further developed during the final design phase based upon full survey of right-of-way, geotechnical, utilities, and other relevant investigations. Location 1 is located along State Route 39, north of Stone Creek Road. At Location 1, 3 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a traditional intersection, a roundabout, and a no-build option. The build options would improve traffic flow and the intersection configuration at Stone Creek Road, as well as improve the overall traffic movement and safety within the project area by relocating the I-77 southbound exit ramp to Location 1. The traditional intersection was modified based on projected traffic data and chosen as the preferred alternative. The modifications include relocating the US Route 250 eastbound entrance ramp from Location 2 to Location 1. This would provide a safer ramp alignment from the existing ramp alignment and reduce the left turns at the State Route 39 and Stone Creek Road intersection, improving traffic flow and safety. To accomplish this, additional lanes were added at the intersection to account for increased traffic, including a northbound right turn slip lane to allow traffic to continually enter US Route 250 eastbound with a yield condition. The evaluation matrices were all updated to rate the proposed alternatives using the latest available data and new criteria. Each alternative is graded based upon safety, traffic operations, environmental impacts, right-of-way impacts, cost, and public input. If an alternative scores well in a category, it receives a full circle. If it performs fair, it receives 3/4 of a circle. If it only performs satisfactory, it receives half of a circle. Unsatisfactory impacts receive 1/4 of a circle. And if an alternative performs poorly, it receives an empty circle. At each location, we evaluated a no-build option. In every situation, the no-build option costs $0 and will not have any impact on right-of-way or the environment, as current conditions would be left unchanged. The evaluation matrix above shows the traditional intersection modified as the preferred alternative. While higher in costs and right-of-way impacts due to the added entrance ramp and additional lanes along State Route 39, the preferred alternative is safer and has a higher level of traffic operations than the other alternatives. Location 2 is the intersection at Stone Creek Road and State Route 39. At Location 2, 3 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a traditional intersection, a roundabout, and a no-build option. The build options included the relocation of the I-77 southbound off-ramp to the north leg of State Route 39, as shown previously in Location 1. The roundabout was modified based on projected traffic data and selected as the preferred alternative. The modifications include relocating the US Route 250 eastbound entrance ramp from Location 2 to Location 1, which provides a safer ramp alignment from existing conditions and reduces left turns at this location. Additionally, the new alignment of the intersection would improve traffic flow and safety. Finally, a dedicated southbound right turn lane onto Pleasant Hill Road from Stone Creek Road is provided in this design, including a northbound left turn lane and a traffic signal at the intersection. The evaluation matrix above shows the roundabout modified as the preferred alternative. While higher in costs, the preferred alternative is safer and has a higher level of traffic operations than the other alternatives. The traffic simulation presented here shows how the preferred alternatives at locations 1 and 2 would improve the flow of traffic during peak hours. Location 3 contains the I-77 northbound entrance and exit ramp intersection on State Route 39. At Location 3, 2 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a roundabout and a no-build option. Based upon certified traffic data, several enhancements were made to the roundabout design, which was then selected as the preferred alternative. These enhancements include adding a second northbound left turn lane, a northbound and a westbound right slip lane, and installing a pedestrian crossing with rapid flashing beacons on the south leg. A metering signal can be added at this pedestrian crossing in future years to act as a metering lane if the left turn volume increases to the point where it restricts the westbound traffic from entering the roundabout. This option would not only improve traffic and safety at this location, but would also provide full circulation in conjunction with the proposed roundabout at the Bluebell Drive intersection for businesses along State Route 39 east of the Tuscarawas River. The evaluation matrix above shows the roundabout modified as the preferred alternative. While higher in costs, the preferred alternative is safer and has a higher level of traffic operations than the other alternatives. Additionally, the roundabout modified is contained within the existing ODOT right-of-way, so no additional right-of-way is anticipated. Finally, the roundabout modified also helps traffic movement along State Route 39 due to the proposed center median along State Route 39 east of the Tuscarawas River and proposed roundabout at the Bluebell Drive intersection. Location 4 is the stretch of State Route 39 from the bridge over the Tuscarawas River to the Bluebell Drive intersection. At Location 4, 3 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a concrete median along the center of State Route 39 with no pedestrian facilities along the road, a concrete median and pedestrian facilities along the road, and a no-build option. The center median would reduce left turn and rear end crashes in this section of the project area. Both build options included a center southbound left turn lane to provide connectivity to businesses. The alternative with pedestrian facilities was the selected preferred alternative with a slight modification. Because a roundabout was selected as the preferred alternative at location 3, the center southbound left turn lane would not be needed, as westbound traffic wanting to visit the businesses on the south side of State Route 39 could travel to the roundabout and make a safe U-turn. By removing the center southbound left turn lane, the right-of-way impacts along State Route 39 are reduced, costs decrease, and an additional buffer is provided for pedestrians between the sidewalk and State Route 39. The evaluation matrix above shows the concrete median, no left turn with pedestrian facilities, as the preferred alternative. This alternative has the least costs, less right-of-way and environmental impacts, and a buffer between pedestrian facilities and the road. Location 5 is the Bluebell Drive and State Route 39 intersection. At location 5, 3 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a centered roundabout, a roundabout shifted northeast, and the no-build option. Both roundabouts would greatly improve traffic flow, reduce congestion, and improve safety over existing conditions. The roundabout shifted northeast was selected as a preferred alternative, as it would minimize impacts to parking at adjacent properties compared to the centered roundabout. The roundabout shifted northeast may still impact parking at adjacent businesses and may require the replacement of the retaining walls protecting the houses on the northeast side of the intersection. Continued refinement to the roundabout will be accomplished during detailed design to further reduce the right-of-way and parking impacts. Roundabouts at both locations 3 and 5 would also allow for circular movement on State Route 39, allowing full access to businesses on both sides of State Route 39. The evaluation matrix above shows the roundabout shifted northeast as the preferred alternative. This alternative has slightly lower costs, is favored by the public, and reduces impact to parking at adjacent businesses. Location 6 is a proposed backage road north of State Route 39 connecting to Bluebell Drive Northwest. This roadway will help provide connectivity between businesses and reduce the traffic at the State Route 39 and Bluebell Drive intersection. The existing driveway is already treated as a road by many drivers in the area. Converting the driveway into a dedicated road would provide safety improvements, as the new road would control the access points to the proposed backage road. This roadway would also serve as a detour route during the proposed construction at the State Route 39 and Bluebell Drive intersection. The evaluation matrix above shows the north backage road as the preferred alternative. While higher in right-of-way impacts, this alternative is safer, has a higher level of traffic operations, and is favored by the public. Location 7 provides a backage road on the south side of State Route 39 connecting to Bluebell Drive Southwest. This option would provide connectivity to businesses south of State Route 39 and to downtown New Philadelphia. The backage road would also reduce traffic along State Route 39 and at the Bluebell Drive intersection. Like the north backage road, the south backage road would be used as a detour during the construction of the proposed roundabout at the State Route 39 and Bluebell Drive intersection. This option would also open the land south of State Route 39 to possible further development. The edge of this proposed build would run along the property line between the existing restaurant and oil change facility and provide a retaining wall near the property line to reestablish lost parking spaces due to the new roadway. The evaluation matrix above shows the south backage road as the preferred alternative. While higher in right-of-way impacts, this alternative is safer, has a higher level of traffic operations, and is favored by the public. Location 8 addresses improvements to the U.S. Route 250 westbound to I-77 southbound movement. At location 8, 4 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a 40-mile-per-hour flyover ramp, a 55-mile-per-hour flyover ramp, a Texas U-turn, and a no-build option. The Texas U-turn was discarded as a preferred alternative early in the evaluation process, as it would have more impact on the existing bridges, had several areas where the design would not meet design standards and would require exceptions, cause motorists to make drastic reductions in speed to make a 180-degree turnaround, cause significant impacts to the traveling public during construction, and was unfavored by the public. The 55-mile-per-hour flyover ramp was selected as the preferred alternative, mainly as it is the safest. Because both I-77 and US Route 250 have 75-mile-per-hour design speeds, the 55-mile-per-hour flyover ramp is safer than the 40-mile-per-hour flyover ramp, as drivers will not have to slow down as much when transitioning speeds. Additionally, this alternative is able to be constructed mainly offline, meaning construction would have little interruption to existing movements until the new ramp is opened. The evaluation matrix above shows the 55-mile-per-hour flyover ramp as the preferred alternative. While higher in costs, the preferred alternative is safest, has the highest level of traffic operations, and is favored by the public. Location 9 addresses improvements to the I-77 northbound to US Route 250 eastbound movement. At Location 9, 3 proposed alternatives were originally presented: a 40-mile-per-hour ramp, a 55-mile-per-hour ramp, and a no-build option. The 55-mile-per-hour ramp was selected as a preferred alternative. Because both I-77 and US Route 250 have a 75-mile-per-hour design speed, a smaller transition between speed limits from the freeway to the ramp is safer for motorists. The 55-mile-per-hour ramp also has a shorter bridge requirement compared to the 40-mile-per-hour ramp. Similarly to Location 8, this alternative is also able to be constructed mainly offline, meaning construction would have little interruption to existing movements until the new ramp is opened. The evaluation matrix above shows the 55-mile-per-hour ramp as the preferred alternative. While higher in costs and right-of-way impacts, the preferred alternative is safer and requires less bridge construction. This slide shows the traffic simulation for the improved local road network with projected 2032 peak hour traffic volumes. Shown now is Location 1, the southern portion of Location 2, Location 2 proper, Locations 2 and 3, Location 3, Locations 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and a closer look at Locations 4 and 5. As shown in the simulation, traffic flow is greatly improved compared to existing conditions. This slide shows the traffic simulation for the improved local road network with projected 2052 peak hour traffic volumes. Shown now is Location 1, the southern portion of Location 2, Location 2 proper, Locations 2 and 3, Location 3, Locations 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and a closer look at Locations 4 and 5. Traffic flow is greatly improved compared to existing conditions for the next 20+ years. Ideally, all preferred alternatives would be constructed at the same time. However, because funding may not be available all at once, the project could be completed in phases, with different sections built as funding is secured. In that case, ODOT may propose to phase the construction of the locations east of the Tuscarawas River first. Preferably, Locations 6 and 7 would be constructed first to act as a detour for construction at Locations 4 and 5. Next, Location 1 would be constructed to relieve congestion at Location 2 by relocating the I-77 southbound exit ramp and US Route 250 eastbound entrance ramp to Location 1. Then, Location 2 would be phased. Last, Locations 8 and 9 would be constructed mainly offline. Even if the project is phased, the construction of any preferred alternative would have a noticeable benefit on traffic in the project area. Following this open house, the project team will incorporate stakeholder and public feedback into the AER, finalize the report, and begin the funding application process. This open house concludes public involvement events for the AER. However, the project team will accept questions and comments regarding the project at any time. The project team anticipates to finalize the AER and begin applying for funding by the end of the summer. So, how can you get involved? Comments are welcome and questions will be answered at any time. However, comments received by July 30th, 2026 will be formally documented in the Alternatives Evaluation Report. There are multiple ways to submit comments. All comments carry equal weight, no matter how they are submitted. Today, you can submit comments via the written comment forms provided in the center of the room. There is a comment drop box in the center of the room, or you can hand the comment form to one of the project team members throughout the room. We encourage you to take extra copies to submit and mail later, or share with family, friends, and colleagues. What if you have a question or comment after the open house? Not a problem. You can still submit comments via the phone number, email, or address listed above. You can also use the link or QR code shown to visit the project website where open house materials, project information, and comment forms are posted. Thank you for your time attending today's open house and viewing this presentation. We value your feedback on the I-77, US Route 250, and State Route 39 Interchange Alternatives Evaluation Report development. Any comments, questions, or concerns you have may be answered by the project members stationed throughout the room. As a reminder, please be sure to document any comments or questions you may have with the comment forms provided in the middle of the room. Contact information is not required on the comment forms, but will ensure you receive a response should one be required. Have a great day.